and more sizzling legal topics. Get ready for a lively legal experience. Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN, FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
Tune in Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. for Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. That's 2 hours of great gospel music every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m., all brought to you by the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Got to be safe. You got to be safe.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the home team. The home team is brought to you in part by Grace Family Church. Just try it. By Tampa Bay area Chick-fil-A restaurants. By Vermost Insurance. By Mahoney's Auto Repair. By the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. By Irish 31, the place to catch your favorite team in action. By Iceman Development LLC. And now here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Well, thank you very much, Bill Carl, and good morning. Happy Gasparilla, everyone. And we're glad to have you as part of our show today on the home team. Glad that you've taken time to be with us on a very busy Saturday with Gasparilla going on, USF playing today at 4, the Lightning playing tonight at 7, and just a busy, busy time. And, of course, tomorrow, the AFC and NFC championship games. We'll talk about all of that. Also, we're going to talk about the Lightning apparently hitting their stride now. It's good to see. And Andrei Vasilevsky coming back into form. They're moving up in the standings, and we'll get into that. They've got one more game tonight before the All-Star break, and then they'll be on the road. So this is the last chance to see the Lightning until February the 15th. They do not have another home game until February the 15th. So we'll get into all of that. Crazy scoring in the NBA, 60 points, 70 points by different players.
In a 5-day span.
Yeah, we'll talk about all of that. Of course, the NFL coaching carousel, and the Buccaneers are involved in that. They need an offensive coordinator. So we'll get into all of that. And WWE at the Trop today. I didn't even mention that.
I believe, yes.
The Royal Rumble.
I went to one of those. I've been to 2 of those. I went to one years ago, 1990 in Orlando, and then it was in Tampa in 1995. I went to them. Yeah, those are a big event. One of wrestling's biggest events.
Yeah, they are. I know my son wishes he could be there.
It's the lead-in to WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania normally comes after the Royal Rumble.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. So we'll talk about that as you bring that up. And also, we'll talk about now that the Bucs are officially into their offseason. It's going to be a busy offseason and maybe a difficult one for Jason Light. He's got to find ways to try and re-sign Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, and a few others. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And last but certainly not least, we want to wish a very happy birthday to our fill-in board op, Big Ed. Big Ed, we really appreciate you being here and working on your birthday.
Yeah, I got the call. Happy birthday, and I'll go to work.
There you go.
Actually, I knew about it. My girlfriend who's out of town called me at 6:30 this morning, and I was about to say, "What the hell?" She's like, "Well, you got to go to work today." Oh, okay, never mind.
Making sure you're awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Well, and to wish me happy birthday, too. So.
Very good. Very good.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. There's something out there from Jason, so
yes.
I'll crack that open on the air and let everybody.
And like I said, you don't have to eat it all in one sitting. Take your time with it.
Doesn't eat it all in one sitting.
That thing's not going to make it home. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, anyway, happy happy birthday, Ed, and we appreciate you being here and filling in today for Matt, who is out of town. But
it's only been 20 years since I ran your board, so,
That's right.
20-some-odd years.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while that you're on the board. So glad to have you with us. We will take our first break, and then we will come back. Want to say hello to a bunch of people watching on Facebook Live. John is out there, and Donald is out there, and Billy is out there, Sue as well. I kind of feel like, remember Romper Room, that program with Miss Barbara, where at the end of the show, she says, let's see who's there today. I see Ed, and I see Jason, and and everybody would wait to see if their name was mentioned, and it was like, she saw me. I kind of feel like that when I'm running down the people that are watching on Facebook Live, but we appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you for joining us today on Facebook Live. We have a couple of NFL contests today. We'll explain how that works with the AFC and the NFC championship game. All of that is coming up. Robbie the Shark is just checked in. Good to have him with us as well. All of that coming up here on the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com.
Folks, let me tell you about a gem of a restaurant in Carrollwood. It's Hank's Place, where you'll find some of the best barbecue, catfish, wings, sausage, gator, shrimp, and a whole lot more. Their meats are dry rubbed and slowly smoked. All of your favorite sides, too, from baked beans to collard greens to mac and cheese to onion rings. Are you hungry yet? Discover why Hank's Place at 8546 North Dale Maybury, just 100 yards north of Waters Avenue, is a place that locals have known about for years. Hey, would a guy like me lie to you about food? Hank's Place, a place to hang your hat and lick your fingers.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
Hundreds of sets of gently used golf clubs is what you'll find at T&D Golf Stores. Conveniently located at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half a mile west of Dale Mabry, T&D has the best repair facility with the largest selection of grips in stock. You'll find a wide variety of new and used golf balls, shoes, gloves, and accessories. Family owned and operated, check them out on the web at tndgolfstores.com. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
If there's one thing I'm particular about, it's my pizza. ABC Pizza House at 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Great specials, too, like a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99 every Monday or Thursday, or 2 pizzas with 2 toppings every Tuesday for just $22.99. Spaghetti with 1 topping every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday for just $8.99. ABC Pizza House, 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue, 813-213-0929. Open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. abcpizzahouse.com. Seeking intellectual delight? Tune in every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN 1340 AM for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. Candace delves into property insurance, law, and other hot legal topics. Don't miss Legal Candy on WTAN 1340 AM. Unwrap the law one bite at a time.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team, and thanks so much for joining us today. And I want to say hello to John is out there as well, Jonathan, and glad to have you with us on Facebook Live. By the way, Jason, when they told me to stop impersonating a flamingo, I had to put my foot down.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Another one from those. I'm glad you're enjoying that book.
Oh, yeah.
Right up your alley, yes.
It's a lot of fun. It certainly is. Anyway, we want to get your thoughts on a number of different things. If you want to join us on the phone lines, that's one way to enter our contest. And here's how the contest works today. We're going to have you pick either the AFC or the NFC championship game result. So basically, when you call in or when you put your entry in on Facebook, you enter one of the two contests. Either you can pick the AFC game or the NFC game and give us your final score and a halftime score. And that's pretty much, you don't pick both teams. You don't pick both games. You just say, I'm going with Kansas City over Baltimore 13-10, or I'm going with Detroit over San Francisco 21-14. Does it sound clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Is a halftime too? Halftime
Yes.
score? Okay, right. Okay.
You have your choice of two
Which
games
game?
to pick.
Right, exactly.
That's basically how
All
it
right,
works.
sounds good.
Rather than get two scores and two halftimes, it's a lot easier this way.
Yeah.
Just pick the AFC or the NFC game, and whoever is closest to his or her game will win.
I like it. The other way is too many numbers involved. I was never good with math anyway. So
you do very well at the bakery, though.
I have the machines. I have that. I have the computers, registers, the calculators. I use that there.
Hello to Mario is joining us on the program as well. Jason, now the coaching carousel begins, and some surprises. Raheem Morris hired by the Atlanta Falcons.
And good for him.
The Cowboys don't make a change.
Yeah, I know. Raheem Morris, good for him. Long overdue. He was the Bucs coach, back from 2009 to 2011. I always felt he was going to get another shot, and I didn't really think it would take that long. But he paid his dues. He was defensive coordinator for several teams, and good for him. Always a good guy. Good players always love him, and he did, in the one season, he did win 10 games with the Bucs. So even though they were going through that youth movement, it didn't always work out. I thought he didn't do half bad.
All the prognosticators and talking heads had Bill Belichick heading to Atlanta, and that didn't happen after two interviews.
I have to believe that Belichick was looking for basically total control over all the decision making. And when you look at it, as great a coach as he's been, the last few years in New England after Tom Brady have not gone well. His decisions weren't very good in terms of player personnel, in terms of the assistant coaches he hired. They really didn't work out. And so I think that, certainly, I guess, Arthur Blank, who interviewed him twice, and others were hesitant to give him that kind of authority. So I don't know. I guess from what I've heard, Belichick looks like he's going to have to take this year off if he wants to coach again. It'll have to be next season.
Father Time Pickett is actually catching up with him.
Well, yeah, I think he should just retire. But if he wants to keep coaching, hey, that's his choice.
John has got the contest going. He has the 49ers beating the Lions 31-23.
Okay,
and he also has a halftime score of 17-10.
Yeah, that was the Lions over the Bucs score. 31-23.
Ironically, it was. Yeah. Actually, so he's got San Francisco, and then his halftime score is 17-10. So that's how it's done. You just put your entry in for either game, whether it be Kansas City and Baltimore or San Francisco and Detroit. So want to get your thoughts on that. And also, Jason, wanted to touch a little bit about the Buccaneers offensive coordinator job.
Right.
Now that's open.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Dave Canales, but leaves the Bucs kind of in a lurch.
And I was surprised he got the head coaching job after just one season as offensive coordinator, but obviously he made a big-time impression with with Carolina. The Bucs offense really started doing well down the stretch under him. He was gelling with the players. Everything was going well, and good for him. Congratulations. And while it's disappointing for the Bucs to lose him, whenever an assistant coach from your team gets hired by I think it's a good reflection on your organization. It shows you that you're doing things right and you're moving in the right direction.
You have to think, though, what's going through the mind of Baker Mayfield? What's going through the mind of Mike Evans, knowing that there's going to be a new offensive coordinator, another new system, unless they end up hiring from within and promoting somebody. I know their quarterback coach has already been
Thad
mentioned.
Lewis is one of them that's a possibility. I know that they're going to set to interview Kellen Moore, the former Cowboys and Chargers offensive coordinator. Also, I heard a guy, the Rams, I think quarterback coach Zach Robinson, and there's also Ken Dorsey in the mix. Of course, he was the former offensive coordinator with the Bills. He won a national title as the University of Miami's quarterback back in 2001. But so there's several ones that the Bucs are going to interview. Look, as far as Mayfield and Evans, that's part of the business. You know that there's always a chance that if your team, especially if your team has success, that your offensive coordinator and other assistant coaches could get jobs with other teams. And of course, Baker Mayfield's been used to it. I mean, he's had, I think, more coordinators and more coaches in his career than he can count. The key for the Bucs, ultimately, though, you have to re-sign Baker Mayfield, and I think they will. I don't think there's any way you don't do that. You have to have your quarterback. He had a career year. He showed great leadership. The players love him. He's got to be back.
Fans love him.
Fans love him. He brings an energy and a charisma to this team that we absolutely need. As far as Mike Evans, you'd love to have him back. I don't know that they're going to be able to re-sign him because I think that another team could give him a huge contract offer. As great a player as he is, he still showed this year he has something left. And if another team offers him a huge contract, I don't know that the Bucs can match it, especially considering they're going to have to pay a player like Mayfield and some others.
Mario says, when it comes to the Canales hiring, I have nothing against Canales, as you should seek the better opportunity. If anyone happens to be an educated sports fan, the Panthers are just not smart at hiring a guy after just 1 year of coordinating experience.
Well,
and that's a good point.
Well, it's a very good point. And you think about the Panthers, the last 2 seasons, they've had a total of 4 different coaches in 2 seasons. That's hard to do because they fired their head coaches before each of those seasons ended. And so they finished the year with interim head coaches. Frank Reich was in his very first season with Carolina, and they chose to part ways with him before the season ended. So, yeah, they've kind of been a mess as an organization. But, again, as surprising as this is, obviously Dave Canales made an impact in the interview.
Ed, if you don't mind chipping in here, what do you think about the Dave Canales situation, and who would you like to see as offensive coordinator?
Well, when I first heard he got hired as the head coach, I looked through the Panthers organization to see if he was related to somebody there and getting the job.
Well, he's got a very good friend
like
as
Jason,
the
I was saying
GM.
earlier, 1 year. This was his first year calling plays, and all of a sudden he goes right to the front of the class.
Yeah.
And then you just brought up Frank Reich, who was fired after 1 year. If you put Dave Canales and Frank Reich in front of me and said choose one, I would take Frank Reich because of all his experience. And they just fired him.
And you think back to when this team was 4-7,
Yeah.
and everybody was saying maybe we made a mistake bringing Dave Canales in. It doesn't seem like it's working.
Right.
So how quickly things can turn around.
Yes. Well, I mean, you think about how when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, what a big name, hot name Byron Leftwich was to become a head coach.
Yeah.
And boy, how that quickly faded. And then the Bucs fired him.
That was after they let Bruce Arians. Well, Bruce Arians retired, and then it was all Todd Bowles who said, "Hold on, none of that no biscuit stuff."
Another guy out there as a head coach candidate that I'm surprised is not employed as of yet is Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
The head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
That's right.
Head coach.
That's right. Obviously, things didn't go as well with Tennessee this past year, but he has led them to the playoffs several years. He led them to one game shy of the Super Bowl a few years back. So he's certainly another one up there. You'd think might get an opportunity. Jim Harbaugh going to the Chargers. No real surprise there. I figured that was going to be the landing spot for him. Already has the quarterback in Justin Herbert. He's got great wide receivers, a lot of talent on that team. That's a team, I think, with a coach of his caliber, they could be a Super Bowl contender year one, in my opinion.
Just before we get to the phone lines, I want to mention and remind you, this is your final week, today's show and next week, to enter the Valentine contest, because next Saturday, we're going to be announcing the winner of our Valentine's contest. And someone will be going to the Lightning Ottawa Senator game on February the 19th and having lunch or dinner at the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. Very nice prize. We had a number of people that have entered the contest. And the way to enter is on Facebook Live or the Facebook page. Just go there, the home team with Paul Porter, and put in what you attribute the success of your marriage or partnership with your husband, wife, significant other. What has made it successful for you? And we will be choosing one winner and announcing it next Saturday. So I hope that you'll take part in that. In fact, we might even, Jason, throw in a Lessie gift card as well.
Yeah, it'd be great.
You got a lot of Valentine's things that'll be available to people as we get closer to Valentine's Day. So by all means, check that out and enter the contest. Tell us why you've had a successful marriage, partnership, whatever the case may be with your significant other, husband, or wife. Let's go to the phone lines. A newlywed, in fact, is joining us, and that is Lee out in Zephyrhills. Hello, Lee. Or John is with us first. All right, John is with us. Hello, John.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. I've got a few sport. Edmonton winning 15 straight. Mahomes is the best underdog quarterback in Super Bowl era, 8-3 record. And the great match yesterday in the Australian Open went 4 hours and 18 minutes. Medvedev winning in 5 sets. Unbelievable.
Yeah, great match.
That is a long time to be playing.
Yeah, that's
especially at that level.
That's one of those epic. I mean, I think you think back to some of the when McEnroe and Bjorn Borg were playing. Yeah, but that's awesome. Very exciting.
And McEnroe was calling he was announcing.
Yeah. You know what, John, I think it's a lesson to all of us when we get impatient at the restaurant. And Jason is looking kind of confused. I mean, many times people get impatient at the restaurant and saying, when will they serve? And they just went for 4 hours.
Yeah, I know. That's a good one.
That wasn't even out of the book.
I know.
That was my own.
Deserving of a tomato splat, but I didn't bring it today. So.
And as far as the offensive coordinator, need to get someone with experience and keep Baker. Sign Mike Evans, keep all the great parts of the offense.
Yeah, in a perfect world, that's what we would be able to sign both Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. But I just don't know that that's going to happen.
Do you think Mike Evans might consider a hometown discount?
That's what's going to have
finish his career.
I think that's what's going to have to happen. Although I thought, did he already take that when Brady was here? I don't remember.
Well, he restructured his contract.
He restructured the contract. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think in order for us to sign both him and Baker Mayfield, he's going to have to do that, because I do think other teams would be willing to give him a huge deal. He's a weapon. I mean, he is a weapon to have. He's one of the best. He's one of the best receivers in history. He is a surefire Hall of Famer. He's had 1,000 yards every one of his seasons. He showed this year he still has something left. So I think a team could give him a big contract, and the only way the Bucs are going to be able to afford to bring him back is if he does take less money.
How critical will it be as to which team offers him. In other words, if it's a Super Bowl contender, let's say the Kansas City Chiefs come to him, or the Baltimore Ravens come to him, or the 49ers.
Then that's where he's going. I think he will go to one of those teams. He will
take that. But if it's a team like, say, Carolina, Dave Canales trying to get him to follow him to Carolina, he might be willing to give the hometown discount.
Yeah, it could be. The key is, as great a player as Mike Evans has been, you have to sign Baker Mayfield. That's the priority because of the importance of the quarterback position. It's easier to replace a wide receiver than it is a quarterback.
And you still have Chris Godwin. You still have
K-Dot and Trey Palmer looked very good coming on. He's got a lot of speed. You got others, Devin Tompkins, and we can draft a wide receiver. So no disrespect, Mike Evans probably when it's all said and done could be viewed as the greatest player in Buccaneer history, but you got to sign Baker Mayfield.
John, would you like to see them hire from within for the offensive coordinator job, or do you have somebody in mind that's out there?
Someone from the outside with lots of experience.
Okay.
And why isn't Bill Belichick already a coach? I don't understand that one.
A lot of people are surprised.
I think because he wants too much control, and others feel he's his best days are behind
freak. Belichick, a control freak.
Well, the thing is, again, he wants to have the decision making for all. I think what players are going to be brought in. He wants to be the GM. He wants to be the coach and the GM. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, as great as his career has been, the last couple of years have not been that good. Okay, and so that leads to
by no coincidence when Tom Brady left.
Exactly. And again, he's in his early 70s. If you hire him, he's not going to be coaching for that real long a period of time. I think the best scenario might be him going to a team that's already pretty much set, and he can help that team get over the hump. But obviously, thus far, or at least for this offseason, it's not working that way.
All right, John, we've got you down as 31-23 49ers and 17-10 at the half.
That's right. Go 49ers.
Okay, got you down. Thanks so much, John.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Thanks,
you
John.
do the same. All right. Let's bring Lee in here next. Hello, Lee. You're on the home team.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
to you.
As a former winner of the Valentine's, it's well worth it.
It certainly is. Those are probably $100 in hockey tickets or more, and dinner at the Palm Pavilion. So, you're looking at least $150 worth of prizes, and a very nice way to spend the day. And you can go get yourself a nice dessert or cake at Alessi Bakery, and it's a nice prize.
I saw Lee in there the other day.
He was so busy he couldn't even say hello to me. They were getting ready for Gasparilla or something. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. I saw him yesterday.
It was jammed.
It's slamming. Yeah, and it's. I'm sure it's busy right now. I'm glad I'm on the show. I don't have to be there. I work this week. Got the weekends off, so that's okay with me.
Okay, but another guy you got to sign is Antoine Winfield Jr.
Oh yeah,
tremendous player.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy and complicated offseason for Jason Light. I kind of look at it as very similar to what Julian Breesbaugh with the Lightning has had to go through with the salary cap.
And there's going to be some, unfortunately, again, that you're not going to be able to sign.
Yeah.
You can't sign everyone. That's the way it is. So you're going to have to pick and choose and look at what the priorities are. And who is easier to replace? As much as that's as you don't want to lose players, that's how sometimes you determine who you're going to pay and who you're going to let go elsewhere.
Between Baker Mayfield and Winfield and Mike Evans, I'd almost put Mike Evans third.
I would.
Yeah.
And it was sure nice to see the kid from Grand Rapids, Michigan, get his first NHL goal the other night.
Oh, yeah. His first career goal, first career point coming.
Which one was that? Which player was?
The name escapes me now.
Crozier.
No, not Austin Crozier. I drew a blank as well, but I'll think of it.
Blank, but he's from Grand Rapids, and he's played He played in college in Minnesota. He was signed by Minnesota, and then we picked him up.
All right, well, good.
And so a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
All right, and Pete Carroll's also out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coaches out there. Pete Carroll's out there.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel's out there. Bill Belichick is out there. Nobody wants the old guys anymore. Us old guys are dinosaurs, and nobody wants us anymore. So whatever.
I just don't understand why I haven't had a job. You got to get
the Bucks brought in Bruce Arians. I mean, he was still up in age. Of course, then they got Tom Brady, so that kind of made the difference there. But you never know. Sometimes it works. If it's a good fit, it'll work, and if not, then it won't. That's the bottom line. I think though.
I want to know who gave Paul a book with the dad jokes.
That was Jason.
That was me. I figured it was. It was right up his alley. I made a mistake. Maybe I kind of helped feed the monster. The monster was already there. Believe me, he's been doing those jokes for years. So this is just feeding him more and more of that. But I figure something he would like, he's taking a task.
You need the sound effects of the rim shot, whatever.
Yeah. Or I often tell him I do like the tomatoes, like with Fozzie Bear, the Waka Waka, and then he gets splattered with the tomatoes. I can always bring those in. So.
Of course, you know, Lee, what you end up with if you cross a duck with a firework, you end up with a firequacker. So Jason is regretting ever giving me this.
Yeah. But, what did I do?
Okay.
Lee, what's your score? Which game are you picking, and what's your score?
Okay, I'm picking Detroit over San Francisco.
Okay.
24-21.
And halftime?
7-7.5.
7-7.5. All right, we got you down. Lee, always good to talk with you. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
All right, appreciate that. Someone mentioned Luke Glendenning, but that wasn't who it was. It was a rookie. Luke Glendenning's been there played in the NHL for several years.
Well, whoever it was, with the Lightning, this is the streak we've been waiting for them to get on. And this is more like the Lightning team. I don't know, what is it, 7 out of 8 now that they've won? Hey, if they can continue this type of pace going into the playoffs, that is then you have to think they do have a great shot to get back to the Stanley Cup if they're on that kind of roll.
And even the game they lost was a 2-1 game in Detroit.
Game.
Yeah. So it was a good effort by Vasilevsky in that game, but they just couldn't score.
But they've got it going now, and that's a very good sign.
I want to say hello to Mike online. He actually won the contest last week.
Oh, very good.
It was a 3-way tie once again, and it ended up going to Mike with the halftime score. This is another reason we asked for a halftime score. 3 different people were 3 points off, including Mike and also Matt and actually, 2 different people were 3 points off. So Mike won it based on the tiebreaker over Matt. So congratulations to him. Let's continue along. If you want to join us on the phone lines, we do have open lines for you right now. We're going to be joined in just a few minutes by Corey Long with the ESPN and NHL Network. He'll be joining us as well. So don't go anywhere. If you want to join us on the phone line, 727-441-3000. 727-441-3000. That's coming up in just a bit. Also, Gordy Zimmerman will be joining us in just a few minutes. Sorry, Ed, I didn't mean to confuse you there. Ed had the deer in the headlight look there, like, where's he going? Why are we doing this? It'll be coming up after the break, Gordy Zimmerman. Then at 10:15, Corey Long will be joining us. Just want to make sure you're listening, Ed. That's all. All right, we're going to take a break now, and then we'll be back with more of the home team. Join us on the phone lines as well, 727-441-3000. More of the home team coming up on FM 106.1 and FM 102.3, AM 1340 and 1350, the TAN Talk Radio Network, and one more Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
There's no place like this place anywhere near this place, so this must be the place. That's what they've been saying about the Palm Pavilion since 1926. The Palm Pavilion on the north end of the sparkling beach is a Clearwater beach landmark. Situated directly on the beach overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, the Palm Pavilion is the place to order cool tropical drinks and watch spectacular sunsets. Tempt your taste buds with perfect pasta, sizzling steaks, chicken or seafood wraps, shrimp and crab chowder. Come for a day or stay for the night. A casual atmosphere featuring live entertainment on the deck. The Palm Pavilion Inn and Beachside Grill and Bar on sparkling Clearwater Beach. Visit them on the web at palmpavilion.com, or better yet, visit in person, 10 Bay Esplanade on the north end of Clearwater Beach. The Palm Pavilion Inn and Beachside Grill.
We're talking with Pastor Chris Bonham, the senior executive pastor at Grace Family Church. And it's been around for a while, Pastor Chris. What do you attribute the longevity to?
We've been around for 27 years, and our senior pastor, Craig Altman, always has had the value of being real, being genuine. And I think that's really been the key to our longevity. The message hasn't changed. We're always going to be Bible-based, Bible-centered, but our genuineness allows us, as we've grown, to show we're not perfect. We're not always going to do everything right. And that allows us to be real. And I think when people see that, that's very inviting to them to realize they don't have to just be perfect as well. They can come just like they are, and God can meet them right where they're at.
You'll find services on both Saturday and Sunday at Grace Family Church, so check it out.
Grace Family Church, now with 8 locations, the newest at State Route 54 and Suncoast Parkway. This is Paul Porter. For the past 12 years, we've not endorsed an air conditioning company on the home team. Until now, I'm happy to tell you about the family-owned and operated air conditioning company, Action Air Conditioning. David Russell and his family run their business with 3 principles in mind: honesty, integrity, and reliability. They've been in business since 1988. They service the entire home team listing area. From service to AC checkups to a whole new system, Action Air Conditioning is the AC company for you. Why do I speak so highly of Action Air Conditioning? I've used them many times at multiple properties, and I've been completely satisfied every time. Visit them on the web at actionairconditioning.com. That's actionairconditioning.com. Or you can call them at 813-935-6644. If you're in need of an air conditioning company, take it from me. Action Air is your company. 813-935-6644. 813-935-6644. actionairconditioning.com. This is Paul Porter. 9 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit 501c3 ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Since then, we've been able to help over a dozen families get back on their feet by supplying everyday needs such as food, clothing, personal care items, rent money, professional counseling, and more. I'm asking you, my loyal listeners, to consider a donation to help our ministry. Demand is at an all-time high, as we're helping 5 families at the same time, one family in an emergency situation. If you'd like to help us help others, you can find out more about our ministry by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to P.O. Box 4979, Tampa, Florida, 33677. That's Reach Out, Speak Out, Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida, 33677. 501c3 number 471630804. No gift is too large or small. All gifts are tax deductible. Thank you for your help.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team, and we do want to thank all of you that have been so kind to send a donation in to Reach Out, Speak Out. And again, if you would like to do that, we certainly would appreciate it. We're trying to help a number of different families through some pretty tough times. Mentioned on Facebook Live, it was Mitchell Chaffee. That's the guy that got his first goal.
All right.
Chafee, actually.
Chafee.
Mitchell Chafee.
Well, congratulations to him.
And that's the guy that Lee was looking for from Grand Rapids that got his first goal as a member of the Lightning, first goal in his NHL career. Speaking of hockey, we've got a hockey guy online with us right now, and none other than our good friend Gordy Zimmerman from Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy, welcome back to the home team. You got a busy day ahead of you.
Yeah, good morning, Paul, Jason.
Good morning, Gordy.
Today.
Doing very well, and we'll get into what Gordy is doing today, but I don't want to let that float too long, so we will certainly talk about what he's going to be doing today to keep things afloat. So anyway, Gordy, you're downtown. I see you got me going with this now, Jason. With these dad jokes,
I know.
And you're just kind of cringing over there every time. But
we're down here downtown, making our way to Davis Island, and then we're heading over to get on the float here.
Pirates are invading.
Yeah, the pirates are coming after us here.
Molly is with you as well, and you're kind of describe your attire that you have on, Gordy. Yeah, I wish we could get a picture of it.
Yeah, we're actually not dressed out yet. We're going to a friend on Davis Island's house to change.
Oh, okay.
And then we're making our way, but we got some really cool outfits.
It's 18th century Europe.
Very nice.
All right. And you're going to be on which float, Gordy?
The Europa float.
Okay. And Molly mentioned to me she thought it was float number 63.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I guess that's the order.
I've always thought 63 would be, the logical thing would be you'd be 63rd in the parade. But there's never any rhyme or reason to it. You'll start off with number 77 and then followed by number 2 and then number 33. And then so you just got to look for number 63.
Well, that'll be fun. I went to Gasparilla, me and my mom, for many, many years. When I was a kid, I was actually on one of the floats with my dad. We were members of the crew of Santiago many years ago. But it's been a while since I've gone to Gasparilla, but it's a festive atmosphere. It can be a lot of fun, and so that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Do you have your beads to throw, Gordy?
Oh yeah, we got a whole box of them. So we had to prepare. I've had about 7 emails on preparation for this. This is no small matter. So we, I've been to the Gasparilla, like Jason said, many times, many years ago, and then Molly's never been. So this is her first time.
Oh, very nice.
So she's pumped about it. It's like I know what I'm getting into.
I predict you're going to have a sore arm by about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, Gordy.
Yeah, I'm more worried about her back and her feet than her arm.
All right. Well, it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be looking for that. By the way, for those of you that aren't going to be attending it, it is televised on the Channel 8 at 2:30.
Yep.
So if you want to watch that, you can. And look for Gordy, and look for I have a friend that's on the Pair of Dice crew.
Oh, nice.
He's my good friend Walt is on that, so I'll be looking for a number of people. And what's neat watching, and you look and you say, "Isn't that Joe? I think that's Joe." No, man, that looks like Nancy there. Is that her?
Looking for people I
didn't know that she was actually on that. Yeah, but
hey, Jason, were you at the Gasparilla when the Super Bowl weekend happened years ago?
I was on the one. Well, I was on the one after the Bucks won the championship. Yeah, I don't remember the last year that we stopped going. Maybe in the late 2000s.
Right. It was the Super Bowl was here, and they had the parade. The day before, and they said there was 700,000 people at the parade.
Wow.
It was insane. Like that was probably the biggest one. And it was just unbelievable that day.
I hear they're talking about like 500,000 today. We got beautiful weather. Fortunately, it's today, and it's warm. I mean, there have been some Gasparillas where it's like in the 40s and 50s, because January, you never know what you're going to get in Florida.
That's right. But that's good. And it seems like it continues to grow in popularity each year.
Absolutely. Right. Well, Gordy, tell us a little bit about what's going on out at Trinity and all that's going on there with the church. And I know you are busier than a one-armed paper hanger.
Well, we got some things coming up and an announcement on February 15th. So I'm not going to speak about it much, but it's going to be some good news on sports and exciting for the project. We're building a component off of our education platform and to include the sport factor, several programming platforms that are going to be launched. And so we're going to be talking about that February 15th. We're really excited about some of the facilities that we're going to be building. And, for the community, it's such a great project, and it's going to be a long-term project. It's going to have phases to it. And, so for sports, people that are in sports, real excitement for our Bay Area.
All right. Well, very good. And Gordy, we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. And one thing good about Gasparilla, and maybe you can mention this to Molly, it might comfort her a little bit. When you're taking part in Gasparilla, you're pretty much with the 500,000 people or so all in the same boat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's a good one, Paul.
If you say so.
That was a good one.
Jason is in pain over here as we're doing these. But well, you two have a great time, and thanks for taking part in the show today.
Yeah.
And be safe out there, and don't hit anybody with the beads. Just try and throw them gently.
Yeah, no, we're not allowed to throw beads until we actually get on the float. So that's one of the rules.
Sometimes, a lot of times, remember, the people will throw the beads back at you. That happens a lot too when I've been in the crowd. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
sure.
people look out for them flying back.
What's incredible is that there's actually a Lightning game tonight, right after the parade.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And traffic is going to be interesting, to say the least, and parking is going to be even more interesting. So,
and Paul and Jason, if I may, wish my son Jack a happy birthday. His birthday is today on Gasparilla Saturday.
Oh, wonderful! Happy birthday, Jack.
Very nice.
Good.
Very nice. It's much better to say happy birthday, Jack, than to say hit the road, Jack. Yeah. So. All right. Well, Gordy and Molly, thanks so much for checking in with us today. We appreciate it. And be safe out there and enjoy the Gasparilla Parade. I'll be watching on TV for you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
Thanks,
you do the same. If you want to join us, we have room on the phone lines now at 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. I was very surprised at this, Jason. And what were you going to say, Ed?
Interject there. The year that the Bucs won the Super Bowl, the COVID canceled Gasparilla.
Ah, okay.
So it had to have been the other one.
Yeah, it must have been the other time they were.
That was the other. Yeah.
It was suggested to me, and I want to get your thoughts on this because you earlier off the air, Jason, said that you can't pick against Pat Mahomes. That he's got so much talent and he's such a clutch player.
Yes.
It was mentioned to me by one of my good pastor friends, Michael Neely, who is also on the board for Reach Out, Speak Out. But anyway, he mentioned that he feels that Pat Mahomes is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And I responded back, he needs about 7 more rings before he can be called the greatest of all time.
He's got a long way to go still. He's currently he is the best, and he could get there at the end. Some people, I know Brady's accomplishments in terms of number of Super Bowls won, number of Super Bowl appearances, I don't know that that's ever going to be topped. But, and while most, I think, would agree he's the greatest, certainly you could put others in that category. You could put Joe Montana up there. I mean, Joe Montana was 4-0 in Super Bowls. Okay, he didn't go to as many, but he never lost them. And the thing with Montana is he was called Joe Cool for a reason. You never saw him get too high or get upset or get too low. There's a famous story when the Super Bowl 23 against the Bengals, he's getting ready to start the game-winning drive, and they're down. And he's got to go the length of the field, and the players are expecting to call a play. He says, hey, look, I just saw in the stands, I think I just saw John Candy over there. That was classic. And whether he did that intentionally to calm people down or that's just him, he never lost his composure. Where others, even Tom Brady, you've seen him get upset, throw a tantrum, throw his helmet. You never saw that with someone like Joe Montana. Kind of could put like Johnny Unitas, my mom's favorite quarterback, in that same category. So there's so many that you could talk about. Right now, though, I absolutely think that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. And I think a lot of people felt this would be his time to lose in Buffalo. They were on the road. The Bills, you figure it's their time. Another great team. Kansas City, Mahomes, they make the plays when they need to.
Mario mentions congratulations to the 3 Hall of Fame inductees in baseball, Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, and Joe Mauer, along with manager Jim Leland. And a lot of people here in the Tampa Bay area were really hoping for Gary Sheffield to make
it's a little disappointing there.
And this was his last chance from as far as number of times you can be nominated, I believe. So
that's do all sports do that? They give you so many chances, and then you're out permanently.
I know they do in baseball. I know they do in baseball that they give you a certain number of chances as nominees, and if you're not voted in, then you don't get any more chances.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but that's the latest as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned. If you want to join us, 727-441-3000. Mike has chipped in online. He was the winner of the contest last week, but Mike has Detroit winning 27-24. And leading at halftime 13-10. So the 3 people that have entered thus far, 2 of them picking Detroit to upset San Francisco.
I would like to see Detroit win that game. It's going to be difficult. It just is. I just think on the road over there, I think
they're on a roll, though. They seem to have a lot of momentum. San Francisco had to fight for that win last week. They narrowly won.
Well, sure they did. Yeah, of course, Detroit. They had a tough one against the Bucs. Their first playoff game was just a 1-point win over the Rams at home. So they've had a struggle too. It's in the playoffs. It's you got to show up. You got to play. Bring your A game. You got to. It's a handful of plays. You look at the Buffalo Bills and that Kansas City game, just a handful of plays that can make all the difference in the world. And if you don't make them, you go home. So I would like to see Detroit win.
Doug joining us on Facebook Live and his kind remarks. One of the best sports shows going today, Saturday. Don't leave home without the home team.
Well, thank you very much, Doug. That's
very kind of you, Doug. Yes. We appreciate that. And again, those of you watching on Facebook Live, we certainly do appreciate you. And you are always more than welcome to join us on the phone lines. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with being on the radio. That's fine. But if you want to, you have an open invitation. 727-441-3000. Some other things that I wanted to get to today. The Magic are just they're right there as far as being a decent team, but they just have such a hard time defeating the injury bug. They had a full roster last night, and then they lose Jalen Suggs.
Well, you look at it. You look at the great start that they had to the season, and not only that, they were beating good teams. They really beat some of the best teams in the league. I think Boston they beat twice. Denver they beat. Milwaukee. I know they had wins. In Milwaukee they had big time wins. So you know what they're capable of doing. It's just a matter of staying healthy and being able to do it consistently. Now, there is some time left. The hope is they can get healthy and they'll at least make the playoffs. And right now, I think they're in the number 8 seed. Right. Of course, you have the play-in with some of the lower
way that works,
teams.
The top 6 do not participate in the play-in tournament, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
So it would be nice if the Magic can get at least to that number 6 spot. I felt going in, they could be anywhere from a 6 seed to a 4 seed. That's where I kind of felt that they would be.
I had them probably around 6. I think when you look at in the East, Boston, Philadelphia,
Milwaukee,
Miami, Cleveland, those are your upper echelon.
And to me, going into this season, you felt at the very least they should be a playoff team. There's no excuse for them not to at least be in the playoffs. But you'd like to see them go further because I do think they have the talent. They have. I think Paolo Banchero has the chance, I think, to be a superstar, and other players on that team, Franz Wagner, Cole Anthony. Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz. I think these are good players that could get, hopefully maybe even better. And it seems like Jamal Mosley is kind of the right coach, the well-tempered.
I can tell you the players love him.
Yeah, he seems like the right guy.
Players coach.
So I think the Magic look like they have a bright future, but ultimately you got to win. You got to show it on the court. You got to have the consistency and live up to the potential.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But that injury thing is very, very frustrating that they can't keep everyone healthy at once.
Real quick, before we hit our top of the hour break, Doug has mentioned he thinks it'll be the 49ers and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Rematch of Super Bowl 54 then.
Okay. Well, if anybody would know, it'd be you. Mm-hmm. And that's what he thinks is going to happen. Give us your score, Doug. Pick one of the two games and give us a final score. And we got about $100 prize pack available to you. We'll be back with hour number 2 of the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1. 102.3 and Facebook
live. WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1.
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn. Former President Trump was ordered to pay over $83 million in damages in a defamation lawsuit. Our Errol Barnett tells us about the chaotic scene in the courthouse, with Trump even storming out at one point.
Trump returned in time for closing arguments from his attorney, Ms. Haber, who was herself reprimanded by the judge multiple times. When she protested not being allowed to discuss tweets not in evidence, Judge Kaplan said, quote, "You are on the verge of spending some time in the lockup. Now sit down."
On Capitol Hill, a bipartisan border and aid deal could be derailed by the former president. Here's CBS's Christina Ruffini.
With a bipartisan deal on border security closer than it's been in months.
This is the most leverage I've seen Republicans have in terms of getting legal changes to a broken immigration system in a very long time.
Opposition from former President Trump is threatening to trip up the legislation within sight of the finish line.
Well, let's talk about the presidential race now. President Biden will be campaigning in South Carolina this weekend, where for the Republicans, Donald Trump is still leading, even though Nikki Haley was the former governor. Political analyst Leslie Sanchez.
Her support is coming outside of the core of the Republican Party, and that's not a way forward. All the endorsements for politicos in the state of South Carolina, though she's raised money, it's not going to be enough money to mount a national campaign, especially leading to Super Tuesday.
Big weather story this weekend is heavy rain and some flooding, and that rain will turn to snow in parts of the Northeast. Weather Channel meteorologist Kelly Cass on CBS Saturday morning.
There will be some of that snow coming in as those winds change direction and bring in that much colder air, especially for the Berkshires, the Catskills. Ought to see several inches of snow.
The UN's top court ruled Israel must do more to prevent genocide in Gaza. CBS's Deborah Patta in Tel Aviv.
Blatant discrimination.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denied the accusation.
The charge of genocide leveled against Israel is not only false, it's outrageous.
And he pledged to continue defending Israel. Khan Yunis, the second largest city inside Gaza, is now a battlefield.
And this just in, anyone who's driven across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Maryland knows the bridge is high and terrifying. We are hearing reports of a major accident due to foggy conditions on the bridge involving, we hear, as many as 20 to 30 vehicles. No word on any injuries yet. We do hear, though, the westbound span of the bridge is shut down. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $750 on average. Call or click today and find out if we could save you hundreds on your car insurance.
Did you ever think about hosting your very own radio show? Here's how.
Hey, Tampa Bay, did you know you can have a 1-hour program on the TAN Talk Radio Network for less than the cost of one 60-second announcement on many Tampa Bay stations? That's right. We'll put you on the radio for less than the cost of one 60-second announcement on many stations. Check it out today. Use your program to promote yourself, your business, or someone else's business. Call Lola Jean, the broadcast queen, 727-510-7622. That's 510-7622. Call Lola Jean now to check out your TAN Talk network program. In addition to network radio, we'll stream your program in audio and video all over the world. Call Lola Jean now, 727-510-7622. Call today. Your network 1-hour program can start tomorrow. Broadcast your message in audio and video on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Join the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection live from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill every Saturday from noon to 2 as we cover Tampa Bay sports, from the Pee-wees to the preps to the pros, providing a positive perspective in our weekly interviews with NFL alumni and Florida Sports Hall of Fame inductees, as well as collegiate, high school, youth coaches and players, conversations from the clubhouse, as well as entertaining guests weekly. So be sure to have a championship day with the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection, Saturdays from 12 to 2 on the Tan Talk family of stations.
Make sure you tune in to Burning Rubber Radio Saturdays here on the Tan Talk Network. Burning Rubber Radio will bring you up to date on what's going on in NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, and anything else that has 2 or 4 wheels and races. That's Burning Rubber Radio right here on the Tan Talk Network. Burning Rubber's brought to you locally by BigStormBrewery.com. That's Burning Rubber Radio every Saturday at 1 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Calling all radio enthusiasts with storm claims and legal questions. Join us every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340 for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. She's your guide to hurricane-related issues, property insurance law, and more sizzling legal topics. Get ready for a lively legal experience. Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
Tune in Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. for Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. That's 2 hours of great gospel music every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m., all brought to you by the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Got to be safe. You got to be safe. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't. It's time for the home team. The home team is brought to you in part by Grace Family Church. Just try it. By Tampa Bay area Chick-fil-A restaurants, by Vermost Insurance, by Mahoney's Auto Repair, by the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach, by Irish 31, the place to catch your favorite team in action, by Iceman Development LLC. And now here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome to the home team, hour number 2 of the home team, and kind of a special day today because our good friend Big Ed is working on his birthday, and we were very kind of Jason to bring in a birthday cake for you, Ed. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday. That's our chocolate princess cake.
Yeah, it's
several
something.
layers of chocolate, mousse, dark chocolate ganache on the outside. That's his favorite cake too.
It is. Yeah.
I feel a lot of running coming after that cake. Tell you that.
That's what's working.
I may have to walk home.
You can share if you want to. I mean,
There you go. And as Jason put it, don't feel like you have to eat it all in one sitting.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Ed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you being here on your birthday. How many years do you, if you care to share?
No, I don't care to share. I'm still lying to myself, so you know.
All right. Well, see, I don't mind. I'm at the age where I'm just considering myself fortunate to still be going. And next month I'll hit the big 7-0.
Years of wisdom. Years of wisdom.
Let me put it this way. I'm at the age where sometimes I sit down and think, what happened?
Did I miss something here?
Yeah.
Did I miss something? But again, happy birthday, and thanks for being here today. Mario wishes you a happy birthday as well on Facebook Live. And John says, great cake. And also, I'm not sure what Mario means by Miss Turnbull would be happy, but Trunchbull. But anyway, Doug on Facebook Live says he's got the 49ers winning the NFC Championship game 35-27, and at the half 17-10 over the Lions. He's also picking the Chiefs to win 27-24, and at half the Ravens had 14-10. But we'll see what transpires. Doug, the only thing I need from you is which of those predictions do you want entered in the contest? Do you want the Kansas City game or the Detroit San Francisco
because we're only doing one of them this week.
Yeah, so tell us which one you want, and we'll put that in the contest for you. If you want to join us on the phone lines, now is a good time. We're going to be joined in just a few minutes by our good friend Corey Long, and he'll be talking about the Bucks and the Lightning and various other things going on, the coaching carousel, and a whole bunch of other things like that. Mario explained that Miss Trunchbull came from a segment in the movie Matilda. Remember that movie, Jason?
I do, actually. I was thinking to myself, yes. That had, it was Danny DeVito, I know, and Rita Perlman were the parents, and the little girl they raised, they were not the best parents, but the girl had kind of special powers. That was good. Yeah, that was a nice family film. I do remember seeing that.
Okay.
Yes, Matilda. Right. That was a good one.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen the commercials that Danny DeVito is doing now
for Jersey Mike's. Oh, yeah, they're great. Yeah.
He's got some funny commercials in there.
Yes.
But anyway, if you want to join us on the phone lines, you're welcome to. And we're going to be talking very shortly with Corey Long on the program as well. One of the things that I'm looking for tomorrow, Jason, as far as the AFC and the NFC, I think it's going to be two very good football games. I don't see a blowout in either one of them.
No, and honestly, that's what I want to see more than anything else, regardless of who wins. I want to see good competitive games. It's just kind of a downer when you have the anticipation of it being a great game, and it's a dud. It's just very one-sided. You kind of lose interest early, and that's unfortunate. You don't want that. You would like to see both of these games be in doubt in the fourth quarter.
Doug, by the way, is going to go 27-24 Chiefs and halftime 14-10 Ravens. He is going to enter that in his official entry in the contest. Just for those of you, I know a lot of people out there write down all the predictions so you can see and kind of compare as the games are going along how you're doing and how everyone else is doing. So Baltimore 14-10 at halftime is what Doug says, and Kansas City comes from behind, like Pat Mahomes has done a time or three, and wins it by a score of 27-24. Is one game more intriguing than the other to you as far as the AFC and the NFC, Jason?
No, honestly, I don't think so. Maybe, well, I will say probably the AFC title game because of the quarterbacks. You have one in Patrick Mahomes, who's viewed as the best in the game. You have the other, Lamar Jackson's probably going to be the league MVP this year, which would be his second MVP, and is trying to get over the hump in the playoffs. So I think from looking at from the quarterback, it is a quarterback-driven league. So from that point of view, I would probably say the AFC title game would be more intriguing.
All right. I'm about even. I'm kind of on the fence with that. Talking to my son, he is anybody but the Ravens. He does not want the Ravens to win because of their history with the Cleveland Browns.
They're the old Cleveland Browns.
They're the old Cleveland Browns,
yes.
And they've knocked the Browns out a few times. So he doesn't care who wins.
Anyone but Cleveland, yeah.
But as long as it isn't Baltimore. He's rooting for Detroit, though. So.
That's what I'm going for. I think most people, with the exception if you're a fan of the other team or you're pulling for Detroit, they've been a losing franchise for many years. And of course, I remember when I first got into football, and of course Wayne Fontes was the head coach, and they had a lot of success. They made the playoffs, but they were never able to get over the hump. And then for years, they were just horrible. I mean, year after year. So it's great to see them finally have the success. The Detroit is one of 4 teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. The Browns being one, the Jaguars and the Texans are the others. And, of course, the Detroit and Cleveland are
Detroit's the only NFC team that has never been.
And they're one of the older franchises in league history. They've been around a long time. For a team that long to have not gone to even one Super Bowl is unusual.
Yeah, no.
So I like to see them get over the hump.
That would be a nice thing to see. We'll see if that transpires
of course,
tomorrow.
On the other side with the 49ers, John Lynch, our great Hall of Fame player is their general manager. So I would have no problem with them winning it all either.
I do have to say, I think the 49ers have a pretty good chance of winning.
There you go again.
Pretty good.
No comment.
Pretty good. We need to hit a break, and then we'll be back with more of the home team. Stay with us and join us on the phone lines, as we already have people doing. 727-441-3000. 727-441-3000. Here on the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, FM 106.1, 102.3, AM 1340 and 1350, and of course, Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Did you know all the Trump tax cuts will expire soon? And if you have an IRA, 401k, or TSP, you'll have a huge tax bill to pay the IRS. Check out the retirement calculator at MaggieTax.com, and in 30 seconds, you will see what your retirement tax bill will be. But wait, how would you like to reduce or eliminate your estate taxes, pay no capital gains tax, and receive more guaranteed income over your lifetime? Call 833-MAGGIE-TAX or visit MaggieTax.com. Now is a great time to shop your homeowners and auto insurance. Alliance Mutual Insurance can lower your cost on insurance during these challenging economic times. Alliance Mutual, an independent agency, is in the Tampa Bay area, locally owned with over 20 years experience. They have access to dozens of independent carriers and can find the lowest price with the highest quality coverage. Citizens is not your only option. Call or text Bob Springer, a home team listener, at 727-481-1936. 727-481-1936. What is Irish 31? It's the People's Pub, inspired by former USF football star Jay Mize, who wore number 31 for the green and gold. Irish 31, with 7 Florida West Coast locations, is your place to enjoy your favorite team in action. From Bucks to Bulls, Rays to Bolts, enjoy your favorite beverage or sample delicious food from their chef-inspired menu. Check out Irish31.com to find the location nearest to you. Irish 31, your home team headquarters. Honest Mahoney's. That's what people have been calling LZ Mahoney for more than 35 years. Honest LZ Mahoney. The name really says it all. Mahoney's Auto Repair is a place you can trust. In fact, it was some of his loyal customers that came up with the name. Generations of people who've been taking their cars to 4040 54th Avenue North for 3.5 decades. Do you need some work done on your car? If his loyal customers call him Honest Mahoney's, that should tell you something right there. The next time you need work done on your car, take it to my friend LZ Mahoney's. He's been a part of the home team for nearly 20 years. Mahoney's Auto Repair. Or just remember Honest Mahoney's. 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, a place that people have called home for more than 35 years. Honest Mahoney's, 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. This is Paul Porter to tell you about the place to save big dollars on nearly new hockey, golf, baseball, and football equipment, and more. Check out Second Time Sports, Main Street, next to Walmart, just west of Belcher. Gently used sports equipment at significant savings is what you'll find at Second Time Sports. Call 727-784-0007 or check them out at secondtimesports.com. Don't pay full price for sports equipment without first checking out Second Time Sports, 2104 Main Street, just west of Belcher, next to Walmart. My new windows from FAS Windows and Doors are in. I couldn't be happier with the job they did, from measuring perfectly to prompt and exact installation. How did I choose FAS over all the other window companies? I've known Ernie and John Wilding for nearly 20 years. They're Central Florida and West Central Florida's largest volume window and door dealer, with showrooms and distribution facilities in both Tampa and Orlando. As you know, I never endorse a product or service unless I've used them or thoroughly researched them. Their objective is providing the best quality windows and doors on the market at reasonable prices with a customer service level that is unsurpassed in the industry. Never an obligation when you call 866-737-7173 or visit them on the internet at faswd.com. Call 866-737-7173. You'll be glad you did. I sure am.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. And, well, I'll tell you what, Ed, you're going to love this cake. It even smells good. I mean, it smells rich. And Jason, can't thank you enough for bringing that in and providing that for Ed. He's going to be in for a real treat. And absolutely glad. Were you going to have a birthday cake if this didn't happen, Ed? Did anybody else, your girlfriend, send you one or have one ready for you before she left?
She said that would be when she gets back here on Thursday. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the question is, will any of this cake still be around on Thursday?
Same thing.
Okay, you don't have to answer that.
I'll have to think about that,
I mean, it'll depend on what he thinks after the first bite.
Maybe I just won't tell her about it. Maybe just go that direction there. And then if there's any left, she'll be surprised. How's that?
Okay. It was pointed out by Doug that if Detroit goes to the Super Bowl, the only team in the NFC North to not win a Super Bowl, if Detroit goes and wins, would be the Minnesota Vikings.
That's right. And they went
been there 5 times.
4
times? Well, yes. Far be it for me to correct you.
I can name them if you want.
No, that's all right.
I know which ones they were.
I trust you. We have with us Corey Long from the NFL Network and ESPN and AP. He does a whole lot of things. Corey, welcome back to the home team. Good to have you on again.
Hey, Paul, how you guys doing?
We're doing all right. It's been a busy week in the NFL. A lot of things have happened. Of course, the Bucs lose their offensive coordinator right at the top of things. Were you surprised at all, Corey, by Dave Canales getting a head coaching job after 1 year as OC?
Yes and no. I think in most cases, I think it was a little bit of a surprise, but Carolina seemed like kind of a wild card of a job because you just don't have a lot of established head coaching prospects that were going to want to work for Dave Tepper, to be honest with you. So I think they had to go with somebody that was going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say desperate, because he wasn't desperate, but the idea that, a guy in his position, Canales couldn't turn down a head coaching job in his position. He had to take it if it came across his desk, and it did. And but I think some other coaching prospects just weren't really interested in that situation because that owner hasn't shown himself to be someone that you really want to work for right now.
Well, not to mention they gave up a lot to go up to get the number 1 pick, which they drafted Bryce Young, and it's going to be a hard time for them to get to get players around him, given that they're really not going to have any high draft picks.
Yeah, it's another, it's a hard rebuild, but it's clear that the Panthers want somebody that can work with the quarterback, that can get the quarterback they feel like up to playing at the level that they hope he's capable of, and and Canales at least I think going in even a rebuild situation, he's going to be able to probably get more out of Bryce Young than what was got out of him last year. Given his history with quarterbacks and what he's done. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise, but at the same time, it's just not because, again, Carolina, I think they were in a position where they were starting to go after guys that they knew could not say no if they offered them the job. So,
good point.
Good for him. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to. You never know when your number's going to get called, and you need to be ready for it. So good for him.
Corey, who do you see as a possible replacement for Dave Canales?
I could tell you right offhand. I mean, there's Thad. What's Thad's last name?
Thad Lewis.
Yep. Yeah, that would be that. If you're going to go internal and you're going to and try to see if you can keep some continuity, that might be the guy.
Would it be important, Jason, and would it almost be to the point of asking Baker Mayfield, assuming they can re-sign him, which I think they will.
Yeah.
His opinion on who he would
I think that would be a good idea. Certainly, I mean, if he's going to be our quarterback the next several years, you'd like him to work with someone he thinks he can work with and feel comfortable with. Thad Lewis, I've heard another comment. I think the local writer may have said he would like him to be the guy, but he has no play calling experience as of yet. They're set to talk to Kellen Moore, again, former Cowboys and Chargers coordinator, Ken Dorsey, who's with the Bills, and the guy with the Rams, I think Zach Robinson, the quarterback's coach there. So there's several that they're going to interview. And I even heard, I think, where Thad Lewis is going to interview with the Buffalo Bills, possibly for their offensive coordinator position. So obviously, if other teams are asking for him, he's well thought of.
Absolutely.
Joe Brady left the Bills?
Well, I thought I don't know. I thought I heard that.
I thought Joe Brady was the OC at the Bills.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought I heard that. I could be wrong on that. I thought Thad Lewis was set to interview with someone, though. Maybe it was Buffalo. Maybe it was someone else. I misread that.
No, that's possible. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, there's plenty of staff changes out there, so it could be anywhere. Yeah.
Corey, switch over to the Lightning if we can. It looks like they're starting to hit their stride. They've won 7 of their last 8, and the only loss being a 1-goal loss in Detroit. It looks like they're starting to hit on all cylinders, and we're seeing them move up in the standings as well.
Yeah, it's not a moment too soon, considering that they've got there's some teams that have, several games in hand on them, and they're about to, they're going to play tonight, and then, their next game isn't until February 7th. So you've got, they're going to have some, they have plenty of rest time. They have the All-Star break and a bye week to get themselves healthy, kind of refocus. Obviously, they want to go into that break with the win tonight, which would be 8 out of 9. My good friend Eric Erlandson told me one thing, that for the first half of the season, the Lightning had something like the 4th toughest schedule in the league, and for the second half, it's going to be about the 26th toughest schedule in the league. So. That might also coincide with a lot more wins, because they played a hard schedule. They've played more games than anybody else has in the league thus far. So, having this, possibly having a lighter schedule down the stretch, if they get healthy, I think if they continue to play at this pace, they certainly can be top 3 in the Atlantic, and that's and given where they were a month ago, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Do you think Andrei Vasilevsky's hitting his stride, Corey?
No, not really. I think he's playing okay. I think if you ask him, he'll say he's playing horrible. He's not that bad, but he has really high standards for himself. No, I don't see him. He's not playing great yet, but it's okay. I think he's playing. I think I'm starting to see some things that I did not see last month, and they're positives. So we'll see where he is at the end of February to see where I think he can, potentially be for the start of the playoffs. Because I do think, it's. The back injuries are so tricky. I think there's a lot of, beyond the fact that you really can't, you really can't judge the severity of them as easily as you can with other injuries. And I think there's a lot more mental stress that goes in with them. So
I saw in that, in that 6-3 win over Arizona, he was still shaking his head when all the other players were congratulating him, because he was not happy that he gave up 3 goals. And
especially some of the, and it really wasn't his fault as much. I mean, it just seemed like the few times that things weren't, that they made a little mistake, that it just ended up as a goal. They didn't make a lot of mistakes in that game, but the ones that they did ended up as goals. I think he'll tell you he probably should have stopped 2 of them, didn't do it. But I do see movement. His movement has gotten a lot better over the last 5 to 7 starts. So that's really what I was looking for was, how is he going to start feeling more comfortable and trusting that he's healthy? With, like I was saying, with the back injury, it's hard to always judge the severity of him. I think there's a lot of mental stress there. So, it was very clear in his first 10 or so starts that, he wasn't, even though he was healthy, he was a little concerned, wasn't sure exactly what to do at times, movement-wise. He didn't want to re-aggravate anything. I think he's past that point now. It just comes back to kind of really getting his timing back on some of the more spectacular staves that we're used to seeing out of Vasilevsky.
A question on Facebook Live for you, Corey. Are they playing Vasilevsky too much? Since he's come back, the only time he doesn't play is on the back-to-back. And are they using him too much at this point, do you think?
Yeah, I generally think they're using him too much. I thought, especially given that I think Johansson's played exceptionally well.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
I was of the belief that I thought, while they were ramping him up and he was coming back, Johansson still should have played every third game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe right now I'd have him playing every fourth game, but I've always thought they've overused Vasilevsky. That's any season. I think they play him too much.
Yeah,
but
I know Vassy loves to play every game, but you have to be smart about it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they kind of give him the leeway there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think they're going to play him a little less in the second half of this season? Maybe if they get out to a really good start in February. If they continue these winning ways and they're in a spot where they're a little bit more comfortable in the top three, I could see Johansson getting more starts down the stretch. But it's hard to say. There's kind of that feeling that they're going to be chasing points, for the rest of the season, which means he's going to play a lot.
Yeah, good point. Well, Corey, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on the program, and we'll see you tonight at the Lightning and the New Jersey Devil game, and always appreciate your input.
Actually, you will not see me tonight. I am taking the night off. I'm going to the Royal Rumble tonight, guys.
Very nice. Have a blast. I've attended 2 of those in my life, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It was the only wrestling event I would go to. So
I was wrestling with the idea, but I thought, I got a Lightning game tonight, so I can't do that. But Corey, have a great time, and thanks so much. And we'll see you when the Bolts get back on the 15th.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Corey.
Care, guys.
All right.
I was just thinking to myself, thinking who won those. It's the event where everyone gets in the ring. You have to toss everyone. You throw them over the top rope and they hit the floor. They're eliminated.
Okay.
And it's basically the last one standing in the ring after everyone has been tossed over the ropes is the winner. The 2 that I went to, the 1991 in Orlando, Hulk Hogan won, and 1995 it was Shawn Michaels.
And how many are there to start with?
I want to say, well, they come like you start with 2, and then every, I don't know how it was, few minutes or 5 minutes, another one enters the ring, and they start wrestling. And then after another few minutes, another one comes in the ring. And eventually, I don't know how many participants, is it 30 or something? And gradually, as they're all wrestling and trying to throw each other out, people are getting eliminated. They're being thrown over the top rope, hitting the floor, and they're out. So, but more contestants will keep coming out after a certain number of minutes, and so you have a bunch. But at various times, you have a whole bunch of them in the ring at once. They're all wrestling, doing different moves, beating each other up.
I cannot think of a better way to spend Saturday night than watching 30 guys try and throw each other over the ropes, and out onto the floor.
Oh yeah. No, it's entertainment. Like they changed the name from the World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment. It's good entertainment.
All right. Actually, someone on Facebook Live is able to see the boats going to the Gasparilla and said the boats going to Gasparilla have a ton of people on each of them. Hold on in those waves. So, that's it's a busy time. Well, we finished with our guests. So for the rest of the program, right after the break, we're going to be taking your phone calls. So Don, hang on. Anthony, Al, we're going to get to all of you. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network FM 106.1 and 102.3, FM, AM 1340 and 1350, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. Your number one home team fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Vermost Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Vermost Insurance Agency in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. That's vermost.com. We're talking with Pastor Chris Bonham, the senior executive pastor at Grace Family Church. And it's been around for a while, Pastor Chris. What do you attribute the longevity to?
We've been around for 27 years, and our senior pastor, Craig Altman, always has had the value of being real, being genuine. And I think that's really been the key to our longevity. The message hasn't changed. We're always going to be Bible-based, Bible-centered, but our genuineness allows us, as we've grown, to show we're not perfect. We're not always going to do everything right. And that allows us to be real. And I think when people see that, that's very inviting to them to realize they don't have to just be perfect as well. They can come just like they are, and God can meet them right where they're at.
You'll find services on both Saturday and Sunday at Grace Family Church. So check it out. Grace Family Church, now with 8 locations. The newest at State Route 54 and Suncoast Parkway. This is Paul Porter to tell you about the place to save big dollars on nearly new hockey, golf, baseball, and football equipment, and more. Check out Second Time Sports, Main Street, next to Walmart, just west of Belcher. Gently used sports equipment at significant savings is what you'll find at Second Time Sports. Call 727-784-0007 or check them out at secondtimesports.com. Don't pay full price for sports equipment without first checking out Second Time Sports, 2104 Main Street, just west of Belcher, next to Walmart. There's one thing I'm particular about. It's my pizza. ABC Pizza House at 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Great specials, too, like a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99 every Monday or Thursday, or 2 pizzas with 2 toppings every Tuesday for just $22.99. Spaghetti with 1 topping every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday for just $8.99. ABC Pizza House, 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue, 813-213-0929. Open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. abcpizzahouse.com. Hello, brilliant listeners. For an intellectually stimulating and entertaining legal journey, don't forget to tune in every Saturday at 2 p.m. Join us on WTAN AM 1340 radio for Legal Candy with the exceptional attorney Candice Colucci. It's the home for your legal cravings. Don't miss Legal Candy, only on WTAN 1340 AM with attorney Candice Colucci.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we welcome you back to the home team. Glad to have you with us, and we really appreciate it. Jason, I know you've been very busy over at Alessi Bakery, and you can still get some Gasparilla items.
Yes. Now, we're pretty much out of the Gasparilla cookies. The only ones we had left yesterday were the gingerbread cookies, some of which we decorated like pirates. So those are kind of cool. But we still have some, I think, some Gasparilla-themed cupcakes and probably some cakes in there as well with different Gasparilla decorations. Of course, The scacciata pizza, with the cold meat pizza, is that was just flying off the shelves. Yesterday, we actually baked a whole nother batch, and the minute we got it out of the oven and cut and put it in the boxes, it was gone too. So we ran out of that. A lot of people were placing orders. So I'm sure currently, as we speak this morning, leading up to the parade, it's going to be slamming over there with different party platters and pizzas that other people are going to pick up. But we still have a variety of great pastries like our guava turnovers and apple turnovers, each of which are buy one get one free. Those are some of our weekly specials this week. We have great our fudge brownies, various cupcakes, cannolis, eclairs, Napoleons, wonderful deli. We have a variety of Cuban sandwiches, Italian subs, hot entrees like chicken and yellow rice, roast pork, picadillo, devil crabs, empanadas. So you name it.
All right. Very good. And I want to mention, too, thanks to our friends here at the TAN Talk Radio Network, we're going to have some Florida State Fair tickets to give away starting next week.
Great.
And also some Renaissance tickets and the Florida Strawberry Festival tickets. So we'll be able to give some of those away to our listeners to go out to the fair or the Renaissance Festival or the Strawberry Festival, whatever you prefer. We'll be doing that starting next week, as well as announcing the winner of our Valentine's Day contest. Let's go back to the phone lines. Don has been very patient. Don, thanks for holding. You're on the home team.
Well, good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Morning, Don.
And you, Jason, too. And Big Ed, happy birthday.
No, he gave you a thumbs up. He appreciates it. Yeah.
Good. Can you explain what happened this past week in the NBA? First of all, I've never seen so many high scores.
Yep.
And secondly, why would the Milwaukee Bucks fire a coach when they're almost a little bit more than halfway through the season?
Yeah.
And a very good record.
Well, they've been struggling of late. They haven't been doing real well. They just lost to Cleveland last night. So they are struggling a bit.
I have to read in between the lines and say there was issues between Adrian Griffin, the head coach, and some of the superstar players. I have to believe it, knowing that this is the
only
NBA,
way I can see it happen.
Well, the NBA we saw, we've seen it before. We saw LeBron when he was in Cleveland. David Blatt, who was the coach. Okay. LeBron got him fired. I think Magic Johnson, when he first came in, whoever was the coach prior to Pat Riley, Magic Johnson got him fired. So basically, I guess the players, the star players, if they're not happy, I guess the coach is getting fired no matter what the record is.
Yeah, that's been the case. And as far as the huge numbers put up, 73 by Luka Doncic,
last
70
night,
by
Joel
Embiid.
You had 62 by Karl Anthony Towns, and then 62 again by Devin Booker.
I think what's happening, Don, is that there are some real dominant players in the league right now. And when a player gets hot, and these guys have, everybody else just kind of gets out of the way and says, okay, here's our ticket. This is the guy that's going to lead us. It doesn't always work, but that's what they think.
Well, I was going to say what's very intriguing, two of those players, their teams lost the game.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns, Minnesota lost to Charlotte, and last night, Devin Booker with the Suns lost to Indiana. So, yeah, I mean, you figure, hey, great for that player, but sometimes if no one else gets involved, it could almost be a detriment to the team. You never know.
Absolutely. But that's what I would say, Don, as far as what's going on in the NBA.
Well, do you think Doc Rivers is a good coach that could help them win?
I do think he's a good coach. Unfortunately, he's never been able to get them any team over the hump.
With Boston. That was the one. He won a title in Boston.
But he's had so many different teams that he's been with and hasn't been able to get them, to where they want to be. But he is a very good coach and very well respected.
And he's a veteran, where Griffin was in his first year. This was his first time being a head coach. So I think they wanted someone with that experience, like Doc Rivers.
Sorry about that. And hacking away here. Want to say hello to Lori as well on Facebook Live. By the way, Don, we've got you down as 33-20, the 49ers winning in the NFC, and Detroit leading at halftime 16-10.
No, not Detroit.
Okay. San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Okay. All right. At halftime as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm predicting. That's why I picked the final score the way it was.
Okay. All right. Very good. Don, always good to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome, Paul.
Take care. Have a good one, Don.
All right. Let's continue on the phone lines. Al is with us next. Hello, Al. You're on the home team.
I want to ask you, did the guy that answers the phone, did he put my score in for the Bucs game last week?
Yeah, we did get it in. In fact, hang on.
31-16.
Yep, 31-16. You were 7 points off.
Who beat me out?
Mike on Facebook Live had it 31-20. And he was only 3 points off. He ended up winning the contest. And also Matt, our board operator, had it 30-21. He was 3 points off. But Mike won by the tiebreaker of the halftime score.
Yeah, I almost had that. I had 10-3 and Bucs scored it right in the last minute.
Yeah. Yeah, Rock Riley actually finished third, being 6 points off, and you were fourth, Al. So... yeah. That's how it came down. Who do you like tomorrow? Which team and by what score?
Oh, I'm looking for Kansas City, 31-21, and 34 San Francisco 19 for Detroit.
Okay, we're actually just doing the
score.
Yeah, we're actually just doing the one game.
I want to tell you about this Hall of Fame. They got three guys. They put in the Hall of Fame this week. Didn't deserve to be there. The guys that should have been in there didn't even get a vote. Mattingly, he's one of the best there ever was. They didn't even look. They shied him away.
Mm-hmm.
So all these players that they're sitting on the sidelines, they'll never get in the Hall of Fame. Well, why did to me that Hall of Fame is a joke. I don't even want to have a Hall of Fame.
Well, I don't know. I don't understand the process by which you get eliminated from being included if you've been there so many years and don't get in. I don't think that should be the case. I mean, we've seen it in the NFL. There have been players who played long ago that it takes a little while, but years later they'll get inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. And to me, that should be in baseball and in all sports. I don't think there should be a cancellation point just because you've been on the ballot and don't get in. That okay, now that's it. You'll never get in. I don't like that idea at all.
Were you surprised Gary Sheffield didn't make it, Dal?
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Hit a lot of home runs.
People were
This was last year, too.
Yeah, this is the last chance for him. That's what Jason was talking about, running out of chances.
I don't like that rule at all. But
he ain't going to get in now. He's out in the dust. He ain't going nowhere.
Al, I need a halftime score for you on the Kansas City game. You got Kansas City winning 31-21. What's the halftime score?
Make it 10-3.
Okay. 10-3 Kansas City? All right. Got you now. Al, always good to hear from you. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Al.
Always good to hear from Al. He's always got some baseball talk.
That's right. Yeah,
He's
well,
our
it'll be here soon enough. I know, you know.
Pitchers and catchers.
Our friend John Bychek always, he has the date and listen to the pitchers and catchers report, so it won't be long now.
I think we're about 2 weeks away, something like that, from the pitchers and catchers reporting. We need to hit our final break. Anthony will join us on the other side, so stay with us. More of the home team coming up. If you want to get a call in, now is the time to do it. Somebody said, is Don on his kayak at the Gasparilla? Can you imagine that with all those boats?
Yeah, how about that?
That would be something in between those.
I know.
If you want to join us, the number to call 727-441-3000, and don't forget to get your score in for the NFC or AFC championship game. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and of course, Facebook Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
How would you like to reduce or eliminate your estate taxes, pay no capital gains tax, and receive more guaranteed income over your lifetime? Call 833-MAGGIE-TAX or visit MAGGIETax.com to see if you qualify. You all know the Trump tax cuts will expire soon, and if you have an IRA, 401k, or TSP, you'll have a huge tax bill to pay the IRS. Check out the retirement calculator at MAGGIETax.com, and in 30 seconds, you'll see what your retirement tax bill will look like. Call 833-MAGGIE-TAX or visit MAGGIETax.com today. Now is a great time to shop your homeowners and auto insurance. Alliance Mutual Insurance can lower your cost on insurance during these challenging economic times. Alliance Mutual, an independent agency, is in the Tampa Bay area, locally owned with over 20 years experience. They have access to dozens of independent carriers and can find the lowest price with the highest quality coverage. Citizens is not your only option. Call or text Bob Springer, a home team listener, at 727-481-1936. 727-481-1936. Honest Mahoney's. That's what people have been calling LZ Mahoney for more than 35 years. Honest LZ Mahoney. The name really says it all. Mahoney's Auto Repair is a place you can trust. In fact, it was some of his loyal customers that came up with the name. Generations of people who've been taking their cars to 4040 54th Avenue North for 3.5 decades. Do you need some work done on your car? If his loyal customers call him Honest Mahoney's, that should tell you something right there. The next time you need work done on your car, take it to my friend LZ Mahoney's. He's been a part of the home team for nearly 20 years. Mahoney's Auto Repair. Or just remember Honest Mahoney's, 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, a place that people have called home for more than 35 years. Honest Mahoney's, 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. Thank goodness it's Thursday. That's what they're celebrating every last Thursday of the month from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at Raw Space Collaborative. It's a chance to network with other businesses and make some new friends. If you're looking to network your business, don't miss TGIT at Raw Space Collaborative, 6013 Wesley Grove Boulevard, Building 2, Suite 208 in Wesley Chapel. Check out rawspaceco.com for all the details. See you last Thursday of the month from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at Thank Goodness It's Thursday. Looking to buy or sell a home but don't know where to turn? Paul Porter here from Pollyanna Ward and the team at Innovation Realty Group. They're ready to work for you. New construction, buying, or selling an existing home, they can do it all. They serve our entire listing area. Uncompromising integrity combined with savvy negotiating is what you'll find at Innovation Realty Group. Visit their website, innovationgroupfl.com. That's innovationgroupfl.com. Or call 813-802-8415 to speak directly with Pollyanna. My new windows from FAS Windows and Doors are in. I couldn't be happier with the job they did, from measuring perfectly to prompt and exact installation. How did I choose FAS over all the other window companies? I've known Ernie and John Wilding for nearly 20 years. They're Central Florida and West Central Florida's largest volume window and door dealer, with showrooms and distribution facilities in both Tampa and Orlando. As you know, I never endorse a product or service unless I've used them or thoroughly researched them. Their objective is providing the best quality windows and doors on the market at reasonable prices with a customer service level that is unsurpassed in the industry. Never an obligation when you call 866-737-7173 or visit them on the internet at faswd.com. Call 866-737-7173. You'll be glad you did. I sure am.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. Glad to have you with us on our final segment of the program. And again, thanks to Big Ed for sitting in today on his birthday. And we know that you'll enjoy that cake from Alessi Bakery, the Princess Cake. Boy, that is...
chocolate lover's dream.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Let's go back to the phone lines. We have Anthony with us next. Hello, Anthony. You're on the home team.
Hey, good day, guys. And happy birthday, Big Ed. Age is just a number, so
thank you.
Enjoy,
That's right.
Enjoy it.
All right.
As far as Alabama, everything that comes out of Alabama wasn't a promised hit, and unfortunately, it was a case with New England Patriots, Mac Jones. what a disappointment. And then prior to him, Cam Newton, which was a spectacle, and New England fans weren't going to put up with that. So, but Belichick, he had it made with Brady. The Michigan kid who pretty much was overlooked by a lot of people. And
including New England. I mean, you figure they didn't draft him till the 6th round. So,
well, yeah, but they drafted him.
I know.
Yeah,
and I think he came with that attitude of proving himself, and he did that for 20 years. Brought New England multiple Super Bowl championships.
It's funny too, Jason, that there are some colleges that are really good as a team and are in the championship discussion every year. And then there's other colleges that don't necessarily win championships or even go to the championship, but they're known for producing particular positions like quarterback or receiver. They come out of there and they do very well.
Certainly you see that various places. I know Penn State has often been referred to as linebacker U because they always get great linebackers come out of Penn State. And others, you used to talk about Miami used to be called quarterback U.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the quarterbacks there went on to do great things in the pros and others. So that's very true.
Yeah, and it's a team like Alabama that's been very good in college football. Not all their players
they have had some great quarterbacks. You think about Joe Namath, Ken Stabler, among others to play quarterback there. I'm sure there's others I'm forgetting about, but have gone on to do great things in the pros.
Anthony, I wanted to get your opinion on this. Someone on Facebook Live made a very astute comment saying that maybe the Lightning are playing Vasilevsky too much since he's come back. What do you think?
Well, okay, putting that to Vasilevsky, is he wanting to play in a net on a consecutive basis? All up to him. I mean, and again, Russian players, they're so into perfectionism. You look at Ovechkin. I've seen him footage of his training at home. The guy is a monster. He doesn't let up. And then Kucherov is also, and it's amazing he's being overlooked by the NHL. And the guy's just playing out of his mind. Vasilevsky, he's a perfectionist. You can see it when he lets it go in. You can see his body. It tells you that he's not satisfied with this performance. And again, Corey made a statement earlier that he shows disappointment, and that he's not satisfied. That's good to see in an athlete. You're not satisfied, and there's room for improvement. So I don't pass that. So again, we can put in Johansson again whenever they have back to backs. But and again, Razzy's coming back from a back injury. I think how much of that plays into his mind, who knows? But if he wants to go in the net consistently, who's to say he shouldn't go? And I when Cooper pulled him out of that game when he let in, I believe it was 5 goals or somewhere in there. You could tell Vazzy didn't want to come out.
Yeah. And I've seen Kucherov when he makes one of his beautiful passes and the guy misses it or it doesn't go through. He kind of shakes his head like, boy, these people just don't know what they're doing, But
sure.
Yeah.
So they'll be all right.
Turnovers himself, though, too.
Well, Anthony, give us a score for either the NFC or the AFC championship.
I'm hoping for Brock Purdy. That kid, if it hadn't been for the injury last season, I think the guy could have carried the 49ers. I'm looking for him to make his mark in the NFL. So I'm going to go 32-20 49ers over the Lions, and I don't want the circus of Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I've had enough. I don't want that spectacle. No, enough is enough.
Okay.
So let's go on with the Niners.
Score? Halftime score.
14-6. 49ers.
Favorite 49ers. Thank you, Anthony. Always good to talk with you.
Good.
All right. The Rubber Cement Man has San Francisco winning 31-24 and 10-10 at the half. So that's how he sees it. Robbie the Shark is our final caller of the day. Hello, Robbie.
Hello, Robbie.
I wonder if Robbie left the building. Sometimes he does that. Are you there, Robbie?
Hello.
Oh, well, okay. Let's make our predictions then. Ed, how about if we start with you? Or he's checking on Robbie.
Okay.
So is he back? Okay, he's back.
All right.
Robbie, you back?
Yeah, I was between Facebook and on the phone. Sorry about that.
No problem. Well, what do you see tomorrow as far as the AFC and the NFC championship game? Which one are you going to enter in the contest?
Well, let me say this real quick. I know the answer to all three games, including the Super Bowl, but tomorrow, AFC championship game, 24-21, Kansas City, even though they're the dog.
Okay.
And halftime, 10-3 Baltimore.
All right. So Kansas City comes from behind and takes the AFC. Gotcha. Thank you, Robbie.
Hey, thank you, Paul. You have a great day, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Ed, what do you see as far as the AFC and the NFC championship game?
I'm going to go in the AFC game. I'm going to go with a halftime score of 13-10 Kansas City. And Kansas City moving on, final score 21-17.
All right. I was surprised at how many people are picking Kansas City, kind of like what you were saying, Jason. Yeah. Baltimore was the best team this year.
They were. But Kansas City's been there, done that. They got Mahomes, who's still the best quarterback right now in the league, so that's why.
All right. What do you have for scores, Jason?
I'm going to go also with Kansas City, 26-24 in a squeaker, and I'll take the Chiefs at halftime, 17-14.
And what was the final score?
26-24.
All right. And Kansas City coming out on top.
Yes.
I have San Francisco beating Detroit 27-21, and the Niners leading at halftime 14-7. That's how. That's what my entry is in the contest. Hey, thanks to everybody for joining us today. Gordy Zimmerman, Corey Long. We appreciate all of you on Facebook Live. And don't forget the Valentine contest. Get your entry in. We will talk to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3. And of course, we'll see you next Saturday at 9 on Facebook Live.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Allison Keys. The drama over a possible Senate deal to overhaul immigration at the border is the top issue right now in the 2024 presidential race. Former President Trump is trying to shut down any plan reportedly to help his